Happy Sunday, Soulful Sunday. We're going with the soul's flow. It's all about allowing yourself to divinely be guided, to trust in what you don't know, and allowing life to unfold as it happens. Ciao Giuseppe! How are you? Come stai? So, here I am in my kitchen, mostly because I am getting ready to go out and teach a class. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for joining. And I've had some beautiful reflections this morning, as I always do. And I needed a little extra rest this morning. I was supposed to go to the market with my father and my sister. And it wasn't until they walked into my house and I was still laying nice and snug in my bed in the deepest slumber. When I say that I was out like a light and so deep in dreams that when I heard the noise, it totally startled me. But my family is allowed to come in and check on me, and so I appreciated the wake-up call, literally. Hey, Dean, thank you for showing up today, all of you. Hi, Marissa. It's all about showing up, right? Because life is about being, actively participating, flowing, experiencing. Hi, Suzanne. It's connecting, it's learning, it's creating, it's this divine dance, as I say, right? Hi, Sandy. So yeah, one of the intentions I set when I do my morning practice is to please align me with the flow of my soul. Allow my soul to guide me. Hi, Marcy. Allow myself to be open. Please help me see where I am needed, how to proceed, how I should flow, how I should move, right? Flying, floating, just, ebbs and flows. But also to stay physically grounded to the earth that we are inhabiting. Hey, Jimmy. Because so often we get caught up in distractions, anything to take us out of confronting what is really going on below the surface. So we're supposed to be here physically in our bodies, enjoying this amazing gift of life, embracing and filling ourselves with the prana, the life force, right? The breath, without which we could not even wake up or enjoy or even be a participant in this existence. So with soul is just so deep within us that quite often we will allow ourselves to cover up with all the externals and the outer workings around us, right? And so when we do that and we fail to tap into the the intimacy, the intuition, the inspiration, the wellspring that resides within us. Our soul is that intimacy that we want to build upon. We want that connection. Haven't you noticed people are outside of you? You watch them, they're all looking for something, but they're looking in the wrong place, right? They're not wanting to go within because of the fear and the pains and the traumas that they've experienced. And instead of embracing them, it's, how am I supposed to live this life? And it's this way versus, oh, there it is. There's my inspiration. Breathing deeply into the deepest recesses of your body, down to the pelvic floor, into all of the cells, and rejuvenating and revitalizing so that you can live fully. To be mindful, but not full in the mind to where it keeps you from embracing and being aware of the beauties and the gifts and every sign that is right there for your knowing. Because only you know what speaks to you, right? So everywhere we look is a reflection of where we're at. Even if you find something you dislike or encounter an experience that you're like, that's just showing something that's been surfacing, and you need to confront and embrace it and say, okay, clearly I have an edge to me today, so let me just breathe into that. And tap into the inner child that is probably the reason that it triggered you to begin with. Your inner child will kind of like go, I didn't like that. It felt bad. Okay, well, what does that remind you of, and where does that bring you? And you tune into it. You go, oh, I'm so sorry I've neglected you. I love you so much, and I am here for you. I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you. It's okay. All of what happened in the past is not happening now, and it'll never repeat itself. Because everything in the mind is illusionary. Even the thought of the experience you may have had is just a workup of what really transpired. We remember our story, our events, our experiences from the last time we told the story. And so therefore, if you really want to make it creative and you want things to unfold in a more beautiful way, you have to shift your thinking. You have to shift that mind from the, it was like this, so it's always going to be like that. Hogwash. Wipe that slate clean and just say, yeah, how's that serving me? Confront the mind and go, okay, now that you've said that, really, that's not even the truth of the matter. It was like that, but guess what? I have the choice to change. I have the power within. That's innate in each and every one of us. And if we play the victim, that role will consume us. And we don't want that. We don't want to be the victim, so why play into the story of it? Stories are what get us caught up in the suffering. The attachment to it creates the replay of it, right? So we write these stories, we read them off in dialogue, we share them as this story as if it's who we are, but it isn't. It's the furthest thing from the truth. What is true is that you are divine and perfect right where you are. And nobody can change that. Nobody can take that away from you unless you hand it to them. You give over your personal power. And that personal power is precious. Just like this body is your temple. And you have to tune in and nourish and love every aspect of yourself. And not just give it away as if it's worthless or you're not worthy, right? Hi Sherry, hey Bob, hey Rick, thanks for joining. Hey Louise, hi Sarah. So like I tell people, sharing is caring. Click the share button. You don't know what's going to come out of me today, and it's going to uplift somebody else. And you might know one person, but you don't necessarily know who it is that needs it. So if you're clicking in the share and it pops up in your feed, somebody might reach out and say, if it wasn't for that video, I might not have been aware of such and such. And when you invite people, even the more the merrier. Because what we're here to do, what I'm here to do, this is my purpose, is to inspire you, to enlighten, to light the flame within you so that the spirit within you rises and you have this amazing life that you've been wanting to live. Because I want to inspire through my own inspired living. The way you do anything is the way you do everything, even when nobody's looking. And I'll share with you that about myself because I'm not afraid of it anymore. Ciao, Angelo. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And trust me, those people that find it because of you, you're inspiring too. And that's that beautiful flow and ripple effect. That's the energy and how we all come together. and find one another and go, wow, you know, it's so crazy, or wow, how synchronistic, how perfect, how powerful that we have the power of social media to inspire, influence, and aspire to a better life. See, this is the same scenario as the mind. We can use the mind, just like social media, to focus on building something more powerful and lively and just vibrant and full of just, you know, your body. You feel all of your cells, right? It's like you feel more than that, actually, because it's beyond even the physical body, because it's all energy. And just like social media, you can watch this stuff over here that doesn't serve you, or you can come over here and go, wow, there's this beautiful community, and I'm going to be a part of that. How phenomenal if you can take social media and recognize it's a reflection of the mind, because your mind is what draws in what it is that you experience. Life isn't happening to you, it's responding to you. So if you're unhappy about something and you keep on talking about it and rehashing it, and it keeps playing that story in your mind, instead of, you know what, I choose to change that, I choose to rewrite that. And you can do it. It's only flipping of the switch. And it's something as simple as just breathing into your physical body and going, wow, it was so easy to just be. Being perfectly who you are in this moment, and embracing all the past for what it was as an experience, and not letting it define you or take you out of your joy, right? So when you're in those moments of stress, tension, anxiety, frustration, bring it back to the breath. I'll always say that. It's the most important thing that we have all forgotten to tune into. We're so out of touch with ourselves, we don't know how to breathe. We don't even feel our physical bodies. We feel pain, we say, but we don't really feel the physical body. We don't really just go, wow, check this out. Isn't this fascinating? Oh my gosh, I feel my own touch, right? I hear and feel my own heartbeat. I can feel the movement of the food when it opens in my mouth and it goes down my throat. Ciao Marco. And it washes over, and there's that ecstatic awakening in all of your cells, right? There's so much beauty to behold, and it's just so easy to get caught up in the mundane that has no purpose. It doesn't serve you, it's just a distraction from what you have. So if you want to live a full and vibrant life, you have to also re-engage your inner awareness and be mindful of where you are in every moment. What that means is, when you are right here, right now with me, pay attention to the smells, breathing into your pelvic floor, feeling it as your belly expands up through the diaphragm, up through the chest, lifting up through the clavicle. And then when you exhale, the chest lowers and the diaphragm flattens, as is the stomach, and the navel point pulls in to let go of that last stagnation. Because it's all detoxifying. The breath cleanses us, it maintains us, it nourishes us, it sustains our living, right? And the more full your breath, the richer your life. You want an abundant life? Work on your breath. That'll be the first abundance that will ripple out into the rest of your life. And then, what do you smell? What do you feel? The air on your breath. I have the fan, so I feel the air around me. Taste. What do you taste? Is it sweet? Is it sour? Is it bitter? Is it salty? What do you sense and hear? Because sometimes when we hear, we hear more than just what we hear in our ears, right? This essence, this sense, right, Sandy? Thank you. The beauty of within is you're not going without, right? Everything you need is right here, right now. And we can slow down, or we can be on the cusp of running out, which will run us down. And as a result of running down, what happens? We're physically drained, our body suffers. So all this mindfulness is really simpler than it sounds. Or it sounds simple, right? But it's actually the mind that really gets caught up in, oh, I don't know, I don't have time. It goes into that crazy tailspin. How's that monkey mind serving you, huh? I don't have time. You know, I have all these appointments. Well, guess what? The more you focus on what you don't have, you get more of it, right? So you'll have less time if all you can think of is how much time you don't have. And when you embrace and appreciate what you have in the moment, wow, all of a sudden it's in abundance all around you, everywhere you look. Before I even started the video and I looked out the window and the monarch butterfly flew by, and I was just sitting there going, wow, you know, thank you, Sandy, for sharing. I just love the monarch butterfly. I love butterflies because they're so graceful. But before they even got there, they started out as a caterpillar, and they had to transform and go through the most, I mean, can you imagine? This is what life is. We're all caterpillars, and we're all going through transformation. Hi, Dawn. So when we can embrace it, even in the chaos, even with the fears that pop up, and go, wow, okay, something is shifting. And it could be just as simple as the emotions that ripple up through your body where you're going, something doesn't feel right. I feel uncomfortable. Whatever comes up for you, if you can turn that around and see it as, wow, something big must be around the corner, right? This is what I do. When I feel like life is about to get out of my control, or if I feel like I have to sit back and go, breathe first, because all you have to do, I mean, really, if you can do 3 deep breaths, 5 deep breaths, your mind will shift completely. Your thoughts will be like, where was I again? If you can really, truly hone in on the moment of it and embrace and do it fully. So, yeah, I see these trepidations that arise as signs that, oh, okay, I've been here before, and I already know that when things have been uncertain and uncomfortable, they've always turned out to be amazing. Hi, Aaron and Samuel. Thank you for joining. When I show up, life shows up, right? If I am fully in the moment, the richer it is, the more it's savory, you know? It's like, I don't know about anybody else out there. I'm a foodie. And to me, I want to take everything in this life in just like I take in my food. I want to embrace it with all of my senses. Oh, how beautiful. That is sweet. That is the sweetest thing I've read. Thank you, Susan. That is beautiful. You know, to teach a child to to blow out an imaginary candle flame, just like it slowly his finger to gain breath and calm. Children get it. You know what? If they can be taught all of this mindfulness, and because they're already there, but to carry it forward, what a difference we adults become if we're already nourished and nurtured from the start, and taught that what we already innately know is okay, instead of being piled on with all these conditions we have to relearn. So yeah, it's all about the richness and coming back to the source of all that is, because that's what we are a part of. That's why we're one, and there is no separateness. And that even when I see something I say I dislike or don't resonate with, it's still an aspect of me. It's still mirroring back to me. And the questions are, will I allow it to consume me, or I allow it to inspire within me the beauty of what and who I truly am, which is source, which is energy, which is God, which is oneness and all that is. Into me I see intimacy, right? We all seek it and want it, but we think because of the conditioning that it resides external to us. Hi, Christine. When we really, really get tuned into ourselves, we don't actually need anything else. And we're not looking for something else to satiate or to make us feel better about ourselves, because the feeling is within ourselves. All of the emotions that we feel are, whether it's even the happy or the sad, is a trigger from the past and an experience we've already had. It's just a question of whether or not it's a traumatic one that's still unhealed, which typically, when something arises within us, it's the opportunity to feel it fully so that you can heal it fully. You have to feel it to heal it, because energy is supposed to stay in motion, right? We're meant to be like the butterfly and grow our wings and to soar throughout this life, to just glide through with ease and grace. Living inspired actually inspires others. Living authentically and in your own personal truth inspires and gives others permission to do the exact same for themselves. When I rise, you rise. Like the butterfly, if I can soar, so can you. So the more I work on me and cultivating this self-love, this nurturing, this care and appreciation for who I am and where I've been, and that's every aspect of myself, with love and appreciation for it all. Others around you just are drawn to you like the moth to the flame. And they want to feel that because others are looking for it and they're just unaware that it's right there with them. So when you go at the people around you are going through chaos and turmoil in their lives, and that they're looking for something to uplift them and make them feel better, have the compassion and just reach inside and just remember to tap into your own inner child and be like, send them love, send them caring, compassion, and just the gift of your awareness to yourself of how far you've come. It ripples out to those around you. Because you're inspiring just by being. It's just a question of how you focus your self. So everyone has some gift to share, some gift to offer. And the question is how we present it. Pardon me. Because some of us can be the bull in the china shop. And that may be a gift to somebody because that's what they need, right? Or they may be the angel that descends upon them and brings them up in their hardest times, right? Their times of need. And everybody's going to have different experiences, and where you are in your moments of time are going to dictate how people show up to you, right? So if you're dealing with pain and suffering because you're attached to the old stories and you're still living the old life, then there may be more of that to happen to you because it's responding to where you're at. So we have to shed and slough off all of this old crap and recognize that it's all within us And we have the power to change it all, to be in higher spaces, to live a high vibrational life. And it isn't airy-fairy. It is about, like I say, grounded in your physical body. It's not, oh, someone's going to pull me down like I'm a balloon, hot air balloon, right? If you do find yourself out of your body, it's still just as bad of a form of escapism as having some other addiction, right? Because people do become addicted to trying to escape their realities and their lives instead of embracing, accepting, and honoring them for what they taught them and how they brought them to where they're at. So when I see people, my heart immediately loves everybody, and my mind is the only aspect I have to tame so that it doesn't attach a story to each person based on my preconceived experiences, based on my belief system, based on whatever the stories may be, so that when you encounter even somebody you know, you should be able to encounter them with love, as if you never had any previous experience with them, so that you can actually enjoy them for who they are in that moment. That's being mindful. That's having key awareness. It's also extending it so that the other person is given the permission to be in their authentic and true self, right? Yeah. So, like the butterflies, we're all meant to spread our wings. But there's that transformation we have to all go through, the metamorphosis of the caterpillar. And sometimes it's painful, but the more you resist, the more the pain persists, right? What you resist persists, because the resistance is what truly creates the tension, whether it be physical or mental. And so when you embrace and allow the sacred flow, this divine cosmic dance that we're here to participate in, your life becomes golden. This is the alchemy of self-love. This is my gift to share with the world, is to awaken that within all of you, right? And if I don't, that's okay, because I'm not trying to take credit for it either. That would be the mind. That would be the ego. I just hope that even the slightest glimmer, the glimpse into who you are, your intimacy into you, that into you I arise, your spirit, your soul, your heart connection. It's the little things in life. And I don't need anything more but to know that I'm living in my truth and I'm showing up for you, and the rest just ensues, right? That divine opening. Thank you so much, Susan, for that. I appreciate that. And truly, I am reaching out there and trying to build the high and sassy vibes tribe. I want to bring people in who are looking to be inspired and to share that out with others. Hi, Karen, welcome. Because I believe the more of us that band together, united we stand, right? The less the divide, the less the separation, and not the bickering and dividing and loyalty to this or that, but the actual awareness that we can all have differences of opinions and experiences and belief systems and still embrace and love one another. Because if you love yourself, you don't set conditions on anything or anyone around you, especially yourself. Sometimes I can just start talking and don't even realize the time that has gone by. So I had to turn and look at the time because I do teach at 4 o'clock today if you're in the Clearwater area. Hi, Marion and Kim. And hi, Laura. Oh, you just missed the long spiel of me basically downloading whatever everybody needs. So at the beginning, you'll get a chance to see it again. This is the beauty of social media, and I love so much. And I appreciate all of you for showing up whenever you show up, because you're meant to show up at the perfect divine time. And so when you show up is when you're meant to show up, and not this, I should have been, could have been. Don't go on shouldn't on yourself. It's not going to help anything. It's the prison of the mind that allows people to get caught up in the distractions of, I was supposed to do this. You know what? Take away the conditions, and what do you have? Right here, right now, this is all you have, is this moment. And you can't make it any better or any worse unless you're stuck here, right? So this mind is supposed to be your servant, not to be enslaved by stories and conditions and pacts and loyalties or whatever this little list that it's created. And it's a pretty big database, you know. My past life, systems engineering, right? Computers, networks, and I get it all. And the body and the mind is kind of like that. And mentally you have to recondition, and you have to reach into the recesses of that mind and reprogram some things that you don't even realize are still there, right? So again, sharing is caring, because you never know who's going to be touched by your share. Because we're all here, and like the web that the spider weaves, right? We're a web of inclusion. We all want to feel loved, right? So we all want to feel included. So the more we open to sharing instead of hoarding, you know, well, I don't want to let someone into my life because they have to prove themselves. Nobody needs to prove anything to anybody. And nor do you have to prove anything to prove your worthiness. And that's the importance I want to really get into everybody, is that self-love has no conditions attached to how you look, how you sound, how you act, how you react, how you respond. It's really just being with what is and accepting it all. And nobody owes anybody an explanation. Nobody owes anybody anything. It's not about loyalty. It's about devotion and cultivating that love that is within you. Hi, Angie. Mwah! When we want to truly find love, love finds us when we find ourselves and have that self-love. Nothing needs to be gone after, right? Think about that. When you get in such a high vibrational state of self-love and it radiates out to the rest of the world, and you walk out the door and people are just drawn to you, everything comes to you. It sounds silly because we're so conditioned to think, I have to run after this, I have to work hard for that. Hi, Kim. It's all an illusion. It's all a facade. No, actually, all you have to do is be present in the moment and truly engaged in your own self-care and love. Because when you do that, all that radiates out, and all of a sudden, all of what you need comes to you. It takes true dedication and devotion to yourself to do it. But once you do, it's like, you'll see what I'm talking about if you haven't already. And those synchronicities, those perfect encounters, those, oh my gosh, I was in the right place at the right time. All that magic, that's that alchemy of self-love. You're turning your life into gold. And your inner child, you have a golden child that just wants to come out and play, because that's what we came here to do. We didn't come here to be outside of our bodies and trying to escape into something else, whether it be, and it goes from the extremes to strong addictions of drugs, alcohol, gambling, drinking, whatever, all the way over to spiritual airy-fairiness. How do I know this? I've been there. I've been on both ends of the spectrum, okay? Drug addiction, not so much. Not my bag. Drinking, but I didn't think I had a problem. That's usually when you have a problem, right? But I can look at my past and I can see my patterns and appreciate and honor and respect all of them, because they brought me to this beautiful place that I'm at now. But I've also gone in that other direction where I was airy-fairy, and sometimes when I was out of my body, and I just thought, oh, life's just so perfect, and it's so sweet, and I'll just stay here. And I had to actually put my feet back on the ground, and then actually engage in life. And then it wasn't all airy-fairy, and I was going from that high bubble where people had to pull me down. Welcome, Donna. Back to the place of, it wasn't serving me, and it wasn't always being integrated. So yes, you're going to swing on that pendulum, right? But the key is to always come back to center and the grounding, the 0 point, which is the self-love and the connection to source and soul. All that is inside of you. In order to integrate all of that into your living fully, vibrantly, ecstatically. Because it all unfolds exactly how it's supposed to, perfectly as it's supposed to. There's no shoulding and coulding and wish I'd known this or that back then, because it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. And for me, one time I was sitting in a meditation and it dropped in. It said, you're not meant to escape your body, or you're meant to physically be here on this planet, in your physical body, feeling it. Feeling all of what this enlivening, you know what enlightenment is? To feel alive in every aspect. Thank you, Karen. It's true. People get you when you're really in touch with you. And yeah, there's going to be those people that come in who aren't going to get you, and that's okay, as long as you can stay in your compassion for them, because we didn't all arrive here at the same time. And some of us are still trying to smooth out some edges and figure things out. Don't be a perfectionist. It's not going to serve you. If anything, it's going to hold you back, and that's again, it's part of the journey. It's breathing into it and just being good with what is, and seeing that it's going to unfold in its perfect time, and appreciating the journey. Yeah, it is multidimensional, totally, because most of what is really going on you don't see, right? It's just like when you encounter somebody, you think you see this person, and maybe you hear their words, but there's so much more going on below the surface than we could ever know. And sometimes you can see beyond the surface, and sometimes you won't. And you also, it's humbling to recognize that, because then it also allows you to look at yourself and go, wow. And in retrospect, if nobody knows what's going on with me, how can I expect that I would know what's going on with someone else, right? So when you really know yourself, you can extend that compassion and love to another, because you've been there. And the impatience only comes up because you're still trying to fix the circumstances and your surroundings. When you think you need to fix or help somebody because, well, I don't want them to go through what I went through, what that's really telling you about yourself is that you're still triggered by it, and you still haven't dealt with it and felt it fully so that it could pass through. Because it's somewhere still lodged in you physically or emotionally or mentally. Because when you try to fix someone else, you're not loving them. You're putting conditions upon them how you will love them, because you want them to be this way, because you see their potential. It's all mask. It's all an illusion. The mind thinks it's really clever, that it can say, well, I really know that person has a lot of potential and I can help them. And a lot of times it's because we don't help ourselves. We don't feel worthy enough, but if we help someone else, we feel like that's going to give us back our worthiness, and it's all an illusion. None of that's going to fix us. None of that's going to help us. When we help ourselves, it helps everyone else. When we love ourselves, again, it's energy, and that's that multidimensional aspect, that when you work on you, you are already helping others. You're just showing up for you. It's working for all of these people around you, and you don't even realize it, because it's below that surface, It's the vibrations and the energies. Energy is constantly emotion, right? So we just need to ride the wave and flow, but be grounded while we do it. Be the calm within the chaos, right? Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing, and all of you. I really appreciate it. And guaranteed, somebody else out there who sees the video because you shared it also appreciates it. Because you're part of this. I might be speaking, but when you share, you're also part of that ripple. See, this is how we're one. I'm not the drop in the ocean. I am the ocean, and so are you, right? So if you think, wow, she's got these powerful words, it's just the click on a button that you shared it, and now you are a part of this movement. You showing up and listening is also a part of a movement that is uplifting the people around you. We could be millions of miles away from one another, and we're still affecting each other, right? How cool is that? I hope you're all having an amazing Sunday. I would love to invite one of you today and get to know you, but I think because I have to go out the door to teach, I'm going to do another video later on today. Because I love you so much and I can't get enough of you. How about that? And that's the truth, because I do. I do love you from my heart, and you are my inspiration. You allow my spirit to rise fully, because I know that me just showing up is sometimes it's half the battle is just showing up, right? That's the struggle, but that's a condition. Thinking, attaching to the thoughts and letting go of the story. This is the challenge, right? It's just being comfortable in the skin we're in. It's a temple. If you can keep reminding yourself that this is a temple, a divine temple that houses your soul, which is an extension and is God, because nothing is separate, even though we see these physical forms and we see lines and distinct contrast, we can't even live without contrast, because we need to see the contrast to see the pendulum swings. But when it comes center, you might have gone left and you might have gone right, but when you come center, now they don't even exist, but they can't exist without each other, right? How cool is that when you go, wait a minute, if I just focus my attention and energy within, everything exists as one. And I don't have to go out of the balance of the harmony unless I want to experience something in contrast. Cool stuff. I'm going to have to watch my video again. Yeah, I had preconceived teachings and understandings and beliefs all of my life, and that's what inspired my post this morning. And I even had more to say, because I had that white picket fence, you know, the prince and the princess, he'll show up, and or I kiss a frog, whatever those silly Disney and nursery rhymes and stories that we grew up hearing and thinking were true and were applicable to our own lives. When we looked around ourselves and kept saying, well, it's not working, I don't think that's true. There's a point in life where you either wake up or you are just sadly disappointed all the time. And mine was just like, okay, clearly I got some bad information and I couldn't use it. And it was time for me to step back into my own personal power. And I'm so grateful for all of my experiences in the contrast. The contrasts are what make this life more interesting. It makes it more vibrant and enlivens those cells and all of your senses, and allows you to dance and move your body, right? Breathing it all in, taking it all in, so that it radiates out, right? Because we're all transforming and transmuting energy, right? Breathe, baby, breathe. Hey, Chip. So I love you all. I think it is time for me to go. If you have any questions or anything that maybe I can share with you in the future, please let me know. Post in the comments below. It's the best way to get my attention, is to comment in the video here. I love you all so, so much for showing up, for being who you are, for being a human being, and truly embracing the moment and being here for you. Not just to hear what I say, but to hear you, to be there for you. Because I'm just speaking words, but it's something within you that gets stirred. And that's the beauty, is that it's all perfect. So have a blessed and soulful Sunday. I have some videos up there if you need some breath work too. So yeah, let me know. I love you all. I'll see you later. Live from my kitchen in Clearwater, Florida. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Go make magic.